I'm Jonathan Davis. I am the chair for a little longer for the rest of this term. And I want to continue with the appreciation. It's not, we have really long serving board members and a lot of wisdom in our group. And it's unusual for one to go off. And it's completely appropriate that we would say thank you to Rob tonight. I want to we want to say thanks in a little way that we can, because he's been such a great part, like JR said, of this group. A lot of you know him. A lot of you have had the privilege of getting to rub shoulders with him and glean some wisdom. I just want to share a little tidbit about Rob's story, because it goes back, and a lot of us can relate to this. That he right out of high school, meeting and marrying the love of his life, Vicky, he got into the plumbing apprenticeship and started growing his skills in that area. And in 1987, went on his own and was doing his own thing, making it big in the plumbing and the trades of his world. And in 1997, as he was starting to think about, he had gotten his master's level in plumbing, but he wanted to maybe take a step up and do a little bit better for his growing family. And he thought, well, his parents owned a ski area, Cascade Mountain, and he would join them and then continue to increase the level of their life. And in 1997, he jumped in and did exactly what you would all expect. It took about the better part of the next decade to make his income that he was seeing as a plumber. But he's because as you all know, the best way to make $1 million in the ski industry is to spend $2 on there. But he stuck it out, thank goodness. And as he grew at Cascade and he grew with his relationships and he invested not only there but in our industry, he got to the point where his parents were ready to for there to be succession. And that's an issue that we all are looking at some points, and it's a really tough issue to tackle. But he contacted some Ship Perfect and some other hooligans down south in southern Indiana for 3 years to dip the toes in the water of what succession might look like. And then Rob in 2010 went out on his own and took the reins 100%, the bull by the horn, and grabbed Cascade and took it from where it was in the foundation that Phil and Adele had built it up to, and then he started to take it to the next levels. And anybody who's been following the wonderful renaissance of Cascade over the last couple of decades has seen the reinvestment, the growth, the culture that he's built into, and that has poured out into this room and through our board, and his influence not only the Midwest but nationally. I don't know if you're aware of this. Rob was a MSAA board member for a while, and he has faithfully served the MSAA board for 20 years, and he was the chairman in 2006, I believe. You can correct me if I'm wrong. Anyway, for his perseverance, for his commitment, for his dedication, for his wisdom, for his collaboration, and so much more, and the example that he has set, we want to present him with an Industry Impact Award tonight. So, Rob, would you come up to accept that, please?
Oh boy, I'm not going to make it through this. Thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much. First and foremost, I'd like to thank my wife Vicky and our sons for putting up with a ton of bullshit that comes on living in the ski business. They went through a lot. Being a kid in the ski business, a ski brat, like I tell them, we're ski brats. And then growing up in it, and then trying to do better, you unfortunately take a path where you work a lot. Everybody here knows that, and your family suffers. But they stuck through it. They stuck with me. Have a wonderful family. You can't thank them enough. So thank you very much. Thank you, Jonathan, for the glowing comments. That was very nice. Appreciate it. Thank you to Chip and the Perfect Group who partnered with us in 2006. We were partners for a couple of years, and then Vicki and I purchased Cascade back in 2010. But we learned a lot from the Perfect Group, and they showed us how to take Cascade from a small family business to what it is now. I appreciate you showing us the way. I remember a phone call back in 2016 when we were taking a big undertaking, and Chip called me and said, "What the hell are you doing? Taking a loan for $9 million. You just bought the ski area. You can't afford it. And now you're putting in another detached." Well, what it did was it kind of set the tone for Cascade's transition. We pulled the trigger on our biggest expansion ever with the help of some really smart people. Joe Vanderkellen, Matt Voss, John Mock. They really put together a great expansion plan, which has served us well and is going to take us into the future for our next expansions. It really set the stage for Cascade, where we would head into the future. And that's when the Walls has said, hey, we're a family business. We're not a conglomerate, and we're in it for the long haul, and we're not going anywhere. So appreciate Adam and Evan and the Cascade team for just making us be great. So thank you very much. But ironically, I think it was about 2 years later when I was calling Chip and saying, well, what the hell are you doing? Putting in a six-pack and you're going to West Virginia? So I think we made some good decisions. It's worked out pretty well for both of us. But most importantly, none of this happens without the Cascade crew. You guys are amazing. You bring it every day. You've taken what Vicki and Adam Edmond and I want Cascade to be. You've made it better. Like I said, you bring it every day, and I just can't thank you enough. So this is not my awards. It's our award. It truly is, because the Walls family doesn't get here without you. So thanks again. And then lastly, thanks to my peers. This is quite an honor, and I really do appreciate it.
Hi there. I'm Dave Bird with the National Ski Area Association. I and Earl Saline have a special award for Fred Seymour. Where's Fred? Woo! All right, Fred, come up here. So Fred has been the chair of probably the worst named committee at NSA, called the Small Resorts Committee, for I don't know how long. It's at least 25 years.
Yeah, about that.
And Fred is a stalwart. And Earl and I have had the pleasure to work with Fred. Fred keeps on top of us to get meetings scheduled. And he has been fantastic in his role as the chair of the Small Resorts Committee. And it's actually a really big job. I know Mike Reitz will talk this morning about what NSA wants to do in helping small resorts and our concentration on that. Earl and I, working with Mike, are moving in that direction. Fred has been a great champion for all of you in this ring. He's also been a great champion in pushing the envelope with NSP. We have had NSP, as you know, a great organization. 98% of the patrollers in the Midwest are NSP. And we pushed NSP. You've pushed NSP. Fred directly and Janine, you've been a great resource in that too. I remember, Fred, we were pushing them to streamline the outdoor emergency care. And we were getting pushback from the National Ski Patrol. They weren't ready to move it. We needed to get it down from 100 hours of training down to about 60,
Something long.
60 like that. And it was a difficult challenge. For those of you who are NSP members, they really have come around and streamlined it, and that's been a great thing. And I owe this, and you all owe this to Fred, because I remember Fred called me up one time. He said, "Where is the Eastern Division Conference at NSP this year?" And I said, "It's in Albany, New York." He's like, "We are going to it." And I'm like, "Fred, we're not invited." And we showed up uninvited. And it was quite alarming to the Eastern Division, which is the power source for NSP. And we went there at Fred's urging to show them, to your credit, that we're serious about this. You need to streamline the NSP process, the OEC process, and they did. They came around, and it took a lot of time. But I give Fred a lot of credit for that, because it was very ballsy. I told Michael Berry, I said, "Fred Seymour wants us to go to the NSP event in Albany, New York." He goes, "You want to go to Albany, New York?" And we did, and it worked. And I give Fred a lot of credit. He's been fantastic from his days at Highlands down to Hidden Valley and at Giants Ridge. You are a true credit, and we owe you a lot as an industry. So thank you very much. We're giving you a Distinguished Service Award from MSAA. Let's give Fred a round of applause.
Thank you very much. And this is, no, it's not about me, but it's really about the freeway in this room and the small resorts across the country. The operators at small resorts wear a lot of different hats. They work very hard, teaching people how to ski, creating memories that last a lifetime. You know, we're the small resorts, that's where everything begins, where everything happens. And I've been very fortunate to be a big part of that, and thanks to NSAA and all of you as well. So we're truly honored by this, and it's been a good time. Thank you.
One more award tonight, and just introduce that award. We had a special video put together. Sorry, will we just play that?
Oh, you guys don't do this.
Hi, Amy. Thanks for everything over the past 23 years. First as a board member, then as chairman, and now executive director of the Midwest Skiers Association.
Amy, it's been such an honor and a pleasure to know you, and know you more than just a colleague, but as a friend.
The first thing that comes to mind is friend. You know, Amy and I had a really strong friendship because we became what was a bit of a vanishing breed, and that is people that were still part of a family skier operation.
She and I grew up in the ski business around the same age. I've always enjoyed talking to her, sharing family dilemmas, and it's interesting how the conversations have changed as we've matured.
The ski business is tough, but ski business as a family is even tougher, and Amy understood that and was a part of that.
I mean, she's grown up in this industry. I've known Amy for years, from Afton and Cato both.
Dad he would always tell me the story about the 3 Augustine kids who ripped up Cascade on the mountain coaster. I guess 3 redheaded ski brats was more than he could handle, because he kept telling the story over and over. Probably a good thing that the Augustines didn't put in a mountain coaster, because it only lasted here a couple of years.
We certainly had lots of long talks. Only met one person probably in my life that can talk more than me, and that's Amy Rentz.
Is it true that she talks more than Ship Perfect?
Oh, I don't know if I feel comfortable answering that.
I think if you think back and think about the thousands of lives that you have shaped and changed from just your employees, between your family ski areas, as well as your role as executive director of the MSAA for so many years.
I feel like you've always been so generous with your support of MSIA and Midwest in general.
One of the most important things that you've shared with me and all of us is your joy and passion for snow sports and the industry and the people who are in it. You get it. You get what it means to be in the trenches, because you've been in the trenches. You have always just gotten us in the Midwest.
Congratulations on a well-deserved award. You've truly changed the industry and enhanced people's lives, and what has truly been a lifetime of achievement within the ski industry.
Thanks, Amy. Thanks for all the memories.
Amy, thanks so much for all you've done for me as a friend, all you've done for the ski industry.
Your passion and dedication to Midwest skiing has been awesome. All of us, thank you very much.
Just thank you for being you.
I thank you for the enthusiasm you continue to bring to encourage all of us to stay the course and be the best versions of ourselves.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. It's a profound honor to present the MSAA Achievement Award this year in memory of my father, Jim Vanderkelt. For those of you too young to remember Jim, he was a pioneer in snowmaking, a man whose dedication and ingenuity helped countless skiers create and expand their snowmaking systems, along with talk to a whole bunch of people about every aspect of ski operation that you all live and breathe every day. More than that, he inspired many of us, including myself and others in this room, to become more deeply involved in the industry that we love. The purpose of the MSAA Achievement Award is to recognize an individual who has contributed greatly to the success of our industry. This recipient embodies the spirit of our sport, marked by entrepreneurship, risk-taking, dedication, and an unwavering commitment to progress. Each year, the honoree is selected by a committee of our association along with our executive director. This year, I am delighted to present the award to someone whose story reflects every one of these qualities, Amy Rentz from Mount Cato. Could you please join me at the podium, and Amy? Amy's journey began on a farm where rising early, working hard, and facing daily challenges were simply a part of life. That upbringing beautifully mirrors the demands of our snow business. She grew up in this industry doing about every job there is at a ski area, and through that experience, she became an exceptional leader that we celebrate with tonight. I can personally say that every conversation, and we've also had a lot of them about family businesses and growing up in the industry, that I've had with Amy leaves me feeling energized. And that's always great when you bring positive energy. She brings fun, wisdom, and grit to everything she does. And it is true, once you catch the bug of sliding on snow in the mountains, it's certainly hard to walk away from. Creating new skiers and riders is one of the greatest joys we share, and our Midwest resorts play a vital role in the future of our sport. Amy deeply believes in the future of our sport, and she has helped shape it. Her contributions to MSAA have strengthened our association and expanded the reach of our summer meetings and trade show. Her leadership continues to drive momentum, growth, and community across our industry. On behalf of the MSAA board, the industry, and your dedicated team, thank you, Amy, for everything you have done and all that you will continue to do. It is my pleasure to present you with this award. Congratulations.
You know, for 16 years, either as being on the board or as the executive director, I had to come from this group. And this year I thought, oh, I don't have to get up front. I don't have to talk or anything. So, yeah, that didn't happen. So, first of all, thank you, Joe and Brooke, very much for this honor, and to MSAA for the honor. It is greatly appreciated. You know, like Rob said, wherever he is, I don't know, we were ski area brats. We grew up on the ski hill. Luckily, our parents, took the risk and had the passion and worked real hard to build some amazing playgrounds for us to have fun in. I grew up with Afton Ups in my backyard and loved every minute of it. Grew to love skiing, ski racing, spent lots of time on the hill with friends and family for years. And then to come back and be able to work alongside my father for a while was such a great honor. I have to laugh. When we got here, the air conditioning was out. I don't know who was here around. My dad got a Lifetime Achievement Award at Spirit Mountain. but there was no air conditioning, and it was like 95 degrees, and and I thought this is kind of funny that we walked in and they're like, the air conditioning's out. So it was just kind of a cute little, it was just interesting that happened. But I was able to work with him and my brothers and other friends and family and lots of good people over the years. When I think about the people that have gotten this award, I've been a part of, many of these award ceremonies, since the early 90s for other people. And we were talking at the table, a lot of them have been the real pioneers, the people that, put the chairlifts in, the people that laid the cement, the people that slept outside while making snow, those kind of people. And then I look at myself and go, wait a minute, there's something wrong here, because that's just that wasn't me. And I have such a respect for the people that did that. But, as Joe said, the industry has matured and time has gone on, and there's all different ways to build or create or be a pioneer in your own way. So my favorite things that happened, of course, when you grow up at a ski hill, you do just about every job. I remember bussing tables when you weren't old enough to work for $1 an hour and clap, you work great. You do everything. But my biggest joy, whether it was retail, rental, a bookkeeping side of things, it's the people. It's always been people for me, whether it's the customers, your season pass holders, your employees, whoever it is. What makes the industry so fun is all the relationships. And so no matter what job I've had, whether it was in Afton, whether it's at Mankato, whether it's with MSAA, my biggest contribution, I feel, has always been the ability to build relationships, to build community. I maybe didn't build a brick or mortar kind of building necessarily on my own, but I built a lot of different communities and a lot of different aspects of my life, a lot of them voluntary, in my community, as well as on the board here for MSAA and my time, I don't know, 14 years or something on the board before I took the executive director position. So, volunteering and just having the opportunity to do that. If you ever get the opportunity to be on the board, I don't care if it's at your church, if it's at your school, if it's at the ski association, I have never found a board that I've been on or something I volunteered for that didn't give more to me, I think, than I give to them. You learn a lot, you grow a lot, you meet so many people, you have the opportunity to give back. I've seen probably over 50 of the ski areas in the Midwest, and that's one of the favorite things. You get to go there and you see people and they show you their area and they light up. They literally light up because they have so much passion for what they're doing and pride in what they're doing. And Rob Katz came to Afton when he was looking to buy Afton Oaks. And it was funny because I had no idea what the hell Rob Katz was. And, 6 guys driving in an SUV with button-up Oxfords. It's like a team uniform, right? And you don't really, I didn't know who any of the people were in the car. I was just taking them for a tour, hoping for a marketing agreement, right? And so I'm just doing what I always do. I'm driving them through Afton, telling them the stories, telling them what we love about it, what's great about it, and I guess I didn't know, but John Garnes, he told me afterwards, Rod Katz said, I've never seen anybody with so much passion in their home meal. And then later found out it was Rob Katz, and I'm like, did I say anything bad? But anyway, you have a passion for it, you give it back, and I just find that people feed it to me. Every year coming here, I always say, oh, here comes like the best 3 days of the summer. Because I just think it's the people in the room. It's all of you guys that you walk in and everybody's, hello, how are you? We're all such a big team. And to think that I maybe influence that or help that in any way is probably the best honor because it's so much fun. We walked in last night, my son, and I felt like Norm. It was like Amy and myself, really like, how do you know all these people? I'm like, because that's what this is. Everybody knows everybody. And if you haven't been here long enough to know everybody, stay longer. You'll eventually will. So I just, to be able to be a part of that and to be able to give back to an industry that I feel like has elevated me many times, has carried me through a lot of stuff. The opportunity to give back to this industry is something that I'm super grateful to have had. And I'm going to stay around for a while just with Malkita and with whatever. I'm hoping it doesn't mean you have to die or retire. But that, lifetime achievement's kind of one of those things that, like, I should be able to go to, like, the Caribbean now and just put my feet up. But, it is a great honor. I wasn't expecting the video. That was a very nice extra touch. That was really sweet. I've met, just the people. Dave Bernier. Who cannot? People like David, Chip, fabulous friend. No matter if we don't see each other for 3 years. Just absolutely the best. Rob Waltz, of course. Dan Greider, even though I had to show you how to get back to your room a few times. I love you. I love you more than anything.
Thanks, Avery.
One of my favorites always, and of course, I had a lot of help, coming into this position. I feel like I'm the second generation of everything, like the second generation Ateneo, second generation Mankato, second generation in the way of MSAA. Because Chris Stoddard, from the inception, did so much. And people like Paul Swanson and David Thomas and people that really got this thing going, and then to turn it over to me and hope I don't break it or something, So to be able to do well by it, I think we did well for COVID, had our messaging out there with a lot of help of NSAA, obviously. But we were able to keep our finances good through all that, even though we didn't have a summer show, even though some years were lean. We expanded our programming for the Train Park Summit. We added Sunday programming back for lifts because people were asking for it. The Sarah program, the transition we've had to make there. Timmy Cole, God love you. You've been around forever and have been so good for Sarah. And then Joe, my buddy from Afton, came back out of semi-retirement to help with Sarah, which was a huge relief for the association and a big win for me to get you to do that because I knew you'd take good care of it. And it's been such a fun ride, such a fun ride. So I don't know what else to say. I wrote lots of pages. I didn't look at a damn thing. But thank you for everything. It has been a complete pleasure, a complete joy. I hope that in some way I made this industry better for you. I met a lot of people. I tried to be welcoming. I tried to be helpful. I tried to elevate the programming. And I think you said earlier, always welcoming, leave you with a smile, right? Just like we do at our skier, to try to make people smile. I'm all about community and people, have been my whole life. And this organization has been very good to me. Sorry. My family is down here. My brother's here and his daughter Amanda. My husband John has put up with me for 25 years and gave me all kinds of dad jokes to tell that I'm not gonna do, and because I'm not gonna, I have to listen to them all day long. And my son Jackson, who's stand up, who's here for the first time, and he's here for the first time. He never came when I was doing it, so now I'm like, this is what I used to do. Because you work from home and they think you basically wear your bathrobe all day and occasionally talk on the phone. So he actually gets to see kind of what goes on here, which is great. I have a daughter, Nicole, that's not here, but obviously they're my biggest accomplishments. Couldn't do any of it without them, and very grateful for everything. So I forgot things, but I'm just very appreciative and thank you for impacting my life.